Today's topic would be international trade, international economic systems, and globalizations. So, if I tell you in crux, today we are going to travel the world. So, we are going to see how the world trade takes place. It is a very important topic, guys, and very interesting topic as well. So today, along with these things, we are going to discuss what are the effects of globalizations, what are the organizations and the unions that came together that were formed for better trade, and what do you mean by open markets and closed markets. So very interesting. Let's begin the session, guys. So before I proceed further, guys, let's discuss few facts about international trade on world map, and let's see how the movement of trades takes place. What is the science behind it? What is the logic behind all the movements and all the organizations that were followed? All right. Now, guys, we'll learn quite practically, and I want you to focus in this map, right? This is world map, and you might have seen this world map only when you were in the school days and only in the geography classes. But this world map is important because you are investment banking student, you are finance students, and you should be knowing how the world movement take place, the trade takes place, and why it is so. Now, the first rule in this world is that the resources are not uniformly distributed. The resources are distributed quite uniformly. Means if you will find oil over here, then you will be finding some natural resources, minerals in China. If you find wheat and rice in India, then you may not find wheat and rice in Africa, basically. If you find good coffee in Brazil, you may not find the same coffee in Russia. So the thing is that God had to, intent to create a world where the resources are distributed but ununiformly. Now, because of that, we have to be dependent on each other. Means India has to give rise to Africa, and Africa has to give some chocolate, some coffee to India. So this is how the entire transaction takes place, right? And this is a reason of studying the economics that why because of the ununiform distribution of the resources, we have to be dependent on each other. There is no other way around. So this was why the international trade is important and why we are dependent on each other. Sometimes we say, we should be Atmanirbhar, we should be doing everything by ourselves. But guys, it's very very important to understand that it is not 100% possible because if we are manufacturing the products, we have to import some raw material for that, right? So everything is distributed in a way that we can't stay aloof, we can't cut off ourselves from the world. We have to be dependent on the world. Now, guys, in this map, if I tell you, there is a line which is going over here. If you can see this line, this is the center of the world. This line is called as equator. You might have read in your school days. But why I'm telling you this financially, wherever this equator will pass, these countries are having highest amount of natural resources, natural vegetation, forests, green forests. And these forests are called as evergreen forest. Dense, immensely dense. So these countries will be having immense, rainfall, immense good diverse amount of animals, birds, plants, woods, coal, such kind of things will be found over here. But if I tell you one more fact about this world, the world is also divided into two halves. One half is north, another half is south. Now, I want you to see very closely over here, guys. The North countries are gigantic. The North countries are huge in size. See the land of Canada, so huge. See the land of America, so huge. See the land Russia is having. So, what I want to say, these North countries are very large in size. And just see the southern countries. These are, can you see these countries are quite triangular in shape and quite small in sizes? So what I want to say, northern part of the world is having more land mass. Southern part of the world is having less land mass and more water. I hope you can see over here. It means these countries will be having more land, so will be quite optimal for agriculture. But as you go more, towards north, it becomes ice, it becomes cold, it is frozen basically. So, but if you say these countries are having long land masses, so yes, they have good forests, they have good resources as well. Now, one more thing I would like to say. Northern part of the world is more financially stable and financially rich, guys. And southern part of the world is not that financially competent. It is not financially affluent. It is not financially that good. And these southern part of the countries are also very populated countries, huge populations, except a few good countries. But if I say northern part are having huge land masses, and if the country is so huge, the population over here in this country is very less. So that is why they have good per capita income. They have good resources. They have good industries. They have good employment rates. In southern part of the world, the country size is small, population is high, so it is very difficult to give everybody job. So unemployment, diseases because of high population, unhygiene, these things are very common in the southern part. Whereas northern part, these, cleanliness is quite common in northern part. Now let's see how international trade takes place, guys. Basically, international trade takes place via sea, or maybe via by flights as well, by the means of airports. But it takes by sea. It takes place by sea. The main reason behind it because it is cheap. Ships are cheap as compared to air flights. I hope you're getting my point. So if something from India has to go to America or Europe, don't you think this is very long way? So what exactly happens? There is a shortcut, guys. From here, we go from here and directly to Europe. And this part, guys, this small part is called as Suez Canal. You might have heard this thing, Suez Canal. So instead, a ship goes from here to here, which will consume a lot of time, which will consume a lot of fuel. Ships goes from here to here via Suez Canal. So this area, guys, Suez Canal area, Mediterranean Sea and Red Sea, is the one of the most busiest routes in terms of world trade. And if something wrong happens over here, means if it blocks, recently you might have heard a ship had blocked this area. So the thing is that this is the most busiest route, and that is why something happens, the entire world trades get affected. It really directly is proportional to inflation in the entire world. One thing. Second thing is that the countries which are situated near to sea, they are having more GDPs, they are having more international trade, and that is why they are having more per capita incomes as well. One more example. Now, from here, if I have to send my product to this part of the country, this part of the nation, so either I have to go from here, that would be quite long. So what would happen? I will go from here, then I will straight away go from here. This canal is Panama Canal. This shortcut is Panama Canal. Again, very famous. So it saves time. It saves this route. It saves oil, fuel, and time as well for the ships. So that is why the countries which are situated near the sea, they have ports, and these ports are just like bus stands or railway stations where trains, buses stop. Similarly, over here, ship stops, and they earn a lot of money by charging them taxes, by charging them tickets, by charging, giving them some rest. Good restaurants are there, so the people who are working in ship industry, they come here, they eat, rest, and then again go back to the ships. So countries like Sri Lanka, countries like Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, Malaysia, these countries are sea-oriented countries, guys. South Africa, these countries, they are just so much situated in the sea part. So many ships they hold over here, and their main GDP is quite dependent upon this trade only. For example, South Africa. When the ships are going from here to here, this is the halt position. Ships stay here for some time. They refuel themselves. They, load and upload their materials. So the thing is that they offload and upload their materials. So the thing is that this is acting as a bus stand. This is acting as a railway station. This is acting as a seaport. So that is why the seaport word is given to them. So if this is clear to you. So these countries, similarly, country like Singapore is also, having a lot of their GDP is quite dependent upon the ships which stays over there, which stops over there, just like a bus stand, buses stop in a bus stand. So it is their day-to-day basis. And same happens in Mumbai as well. Many ships, Mumbai, Kolkata, these are, in southern part of the country, we have so many ports basically. So in India, we also have good amount of earnings. And thank God, in India, we have a sea connection. We have a border with sea. This is very important, guys, for any country to boom, any country to grow. And this sea is very important for international trade. If a country is landlocked, for example, in Africa, many countries are landlocked. For these countries, international trades become very difficult. And as I told you, if you do international trade using flights, using airlines, guys, it will be too costly. It will be too costly, and the cost will be too high. So because of that, inflation will also go high in your country. So I hope this is clear to everyone why the international trades takes place. That is because of ununiform distribution of the resources. Secondly, there are many trade routes where trades takes place. There is one more trade route, guys, which is land-wise trade route that starts from here, Thailand, then India, then China, then this place, Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, and then to Russia, and then to Europe. So see, this route is the oldest route, Silk Route, but it is closed right now. Why it is closed? Because so many we are not having good relations with other countries basically, so that's why it's closed. But it is one of the oldest world trade route land wise. I hope this is clear to everybody. And ports play a very important role when it takes when we discuss about international trade. I hope this is clear to everybody. Now, these were some interesting facts on the world map that why the international trade is so important and how it takes place. Now, what is international trade? International trade is that when two people meet, as simple as that, buyer and seller. It could be buyer of goods, it could be seller of services as well. So services as well as goods, when the exchange takes place, cross borders means from one country to another country. So this is called as international trade. And why it is so important, guys, as I told you, it is important for the growth of the world GDP. It is important for the growth of the nation as well. And it is important for the spreading of the innovation, guys. Have you ever wondered if this international trade would have, if it didn't exist? We were not able to use Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp. We were not able to use good clothes. We were not able to use branded clothes which came from other parts of the world. So it is very important. It plays a very important role. So international trade gives us the best innovation and best products available in the market. I hope this is clear to everybody. Now, one more thing that is very important over here is that open markets and closed markets. Guys, if I tell you some a small story that historically all the countries they used to think that they're self-sufficient. They don't need help of any other country. India was also the same. We were also a closed market before 1990s. And I really want to, it's really sad on the demise of Mr. Manmohan Singh. He was the only person who opened Indian market, guys. It's something, it was the biggest event in Indian history. Now, what happened earlier? All the countries they were closed. But if I tell you guys, I told you there is no way out. Any country can stay completely closed, without having any dependency on others. Because guys, the world has been created in such a way by the God that we have to be dependent on each other. So closed markets are those markets like North Korea, guys. Over here, there is North Korea which don't trade with other parts of the country or of the world. Means North Korea doesn't buy anything from America, India, Africa, South America. They don't buy anything. They believe that they are self-sufficient, but which is not so. Now you know why it is not so. Because if this place is a very cold place, so they can't produce coffee. So they have to buy coffee. If this place is a desert place, they can't produce rice because they don't have the water. So we have to be dependent on each other. There's no way out. So if it is landlocked, how can they can purchase fish or seafood? So we have to be dependent. So what do you mean by closed markets? Closed markets are those markets who believe they're self-reliant, who believe on Atam Nirbhar. They don't need anybody. But guys, there is a big drawback in this. The growth is limited. The innovation is limited. Now, in North Korea, just believe. You won't believe, guys. They don't use Google. They don't use Instagram, YouTube. So just see the access of knowledge is so limited to them. Now coming to open market, guys. Open market are those markets where trading is free. You can buy stuff from the other parts of the world. You can sell stuff from other part of the world. So it is good as per se. You will get the best things amongst available in the market, in the world, I would say. Now coming back to the story again. Before 1990s, guys, this India was also locked. This India was also a closed market. After 1990s only, there was outburst of Manmohan Singh, the our ex prime minister and even finance minister. He opened the market. And before 1990s, guys, there were no McDonald's in India. There were no Domino's. There were no whatever Decathlon, or there were no Nike. There were no showrooms like that. Just local market products. All of a sudden, after 1990s, we opened India for the entire world. Now, just imagine. Just now, you yourself is witnessing this thing, guys. You have iPhone. If this market would have been closed market, there would have been no iPhones. There would have been no MacBooks. There would have been no laptops. Same is happening in North Korea. Just imagine a life without good mobile phone. How that would be. There would have been no Instagram, YouTube. Just imagine yourself, guys. So this happened only when we opened this market, guys. It is a very great. It was a great step. Now, if I say which markets are closed markets and which markets are open market, guys, only in today's world, I would say North Korea is the only market which is closed. The rest, entire world is an open market now. Yeah, there are a few tariffs, there are a few taxation policies, but we can trade with each other. India is now trading with the world, and the entire world is trading with India. Similarly, with them as well. All the countries are dependent on each other. Especially, the entire world is dependent on China, at least. China is selling all the things, guys. They are manufacturing at least almost all the things. So why it is so? Because China had realized this thing that there is no way out, that they have to do the international trade. I hope this is clear to you. Open markets are those markets where there are no restrictions by the government. It works by laissez-faire. We are going to discuss what laissez-faire is in coming slides, which are opened. There is no restriction of government. There is no over restriction of governments. It works completely under demand and supply. Yes, there are few regulations by the government that is good per se, but as such they are open. Demand and supply takes place, and these markets are controlled and self-regulated by the markets itself, by demand and supply concept. Government restrictions are very minimal. USA, in India, government restrictions are there, but still we are an open market. And we trade. We trade with the world. We buy things, we sell stuff. Imports, exports are good. So that is why competition is there. Today I am wearing this jacket. So if 1947 and 1950s, I would have just a jacket which were tailor made by my tailor only. Nothing else. I didn't even have the option to buy some new jacket. But today I can buy jacket of any brand, national, international, domestic, nearby, anyone. So that is why it encourages competition. It encourages the variety, good products, and it encourages innovation, both in service sector as well as in manufacturing sector, guys. Closed market, I know, it is really very difficult in today's era. We are so much dependent on each other. Now, guys, one very important term, these are very important terms, and you might be wondering, how the world is oriented in terms of, what is this capitalism, what is socialism or socialist countries, what is, communist, and what is nationalist, and what type of model India chose, and why India chose this type of model only. Was there any reason behind that? So, I want to again tell you a small story on this, guys. Just imagine parents were very strict parents. And you might be having strict parents. So whenever they go outside, your parents go outside to market and buy some stuff. For example, they purchased some chocolates. Now, when they came back, so they didn't, it's not that you just asked for chocolates and they gave the chocolates to you directly. No, they will divide the chocolates equally to both the children. Means when everything is controlled by the parents, when they're very strict, and everything is distributed and divided amongst you, between both of you, by the parents only, that is called as communism. Communism means when the government is strict, everything is controlled by the government. And it's just the government who distributes things amongst the citizens as per their wish. So if today parents are having 10 chocolates, it's their wish to give one chocolate each to both of you. If there are two children, to one chocolate both of you today, or two chocolates, or maybe five chocolates. But they are strict, so they will keep eight chocolates with themselves and they'll give one chocolate to both of you. So they are controlling. They are controlling where you are going. You have to take permissions. You can't own anything. You have to take permission of the government, right? You have to take means permission of the parents. You have to tell everything to the government, right? And the thing is that you are staying in a house, but that house is basically owned by the parents only. So same happens in China. So China is a communist country, basically, guys. So everything is owned by the government. There is no private property concept, apart from few, states and few, for example, Hong Kong. There used to be private property concept that we are going to discuss in some another day. But in China, everything is owned by the government. Everything is nationalized. Nationalized means banks are government banks. Everything means were taken over by the government only. Now, you are staying in a house, but that house, you are not owning that house. You are just staying there. That house, the real owner of that house is government. So, as per se, you have to take those houses on lease from the government for some point of time. You have to pay money for that. But on, but what's beneficial in this that it's the responsibility of the government to construct houses. It is responsibility of the government to provide employment to everybody. Means for everything, the government is responsible. Everything is centralized. So highways, it's responsibility of government. Employment, responsibility of government. Construction of homes for the citizens, houses for the citizens, responsibility of government. So communism is something which is where the parents are so strict, they try to control their children. As simple as that. So in this world, guys, let me tell you in the map. Generally, China is the communist country. North Korea is also a communist country where everything is controlled by the government. Russia was used to be a communist country, but it broke down. This part was also part of Russia only. These countries, small countries. If I enlarge it, these countries, small, Poland, Ukraine, Belarus, Estonia, all these, Romania, all these were part of Russia, but it broke down. Now these are free countries. Apart from this, Cuba is also a communist country, but the thing is that communism also has some flaws that we are going to discuss. Now, guys, capitalism. Capitalism are liberal parents. They are free. Now you might have seen some parents who are completely free. Beta, you want whatever you want to do, do. Don't no need to ask from us. So there are parents who are enjoying their lives and children are also enjoying their life. You don't need to ask from parents where you are going, what you are eating, the way when you are sleeping, when you are getting up, where you were, after school. No need to take any permissions. You are completely free. By your own. Do whatever you want to do. So by your own means, you are self-regulating yourself. There is no regulation mechanism. So capitalist countries are those countries where everything is private, market driven by themselves. Everything is happening naturally. There is no need to do anything. So what I want to say over here is that in capitalist countries, in this kind of liberal parenting, what happens? The parents are so liberal that everything, they have given full freedom to the children. Now, children are taking care of themselves by them, by they don't have to be regulated by the parents. What I wanted to say. No, the entire world, guys, is moving towards capitalism only. And that we are going to discuss when we complete all these models. But if I tell you, today, entire world is driven by capitalism forces only. We are learning this thing. This is also capitalism. So what exactly happens in capitalism that, guys, if the children are self-regulating themselves in such kind of parenting, there are chances the children may not eat good food. Children may skip lunch, may skip a breakfast, may get into wrong habits, bad habits, alcoholism, cigarettes, and all that. Children may not sleep at nights. They may misuse their time, which is not, on contrary, was not there in communism. Communism means strict parenting. You have to get up on time. You have to eat food on time, healthy food on time. You can't get spoiled, stuff like that. In capitalism, it's completely free. So there are some drawbacks in this. So which countries are capitalist countries? At least entire world is capitalist. Now, this is something we are going to discuss this in coming in a moment. The mixed economy, it's very interesting subject. Now, before mixed economy, let's discuss this word socialist. Now, guys, socialist is the highest aim of all the world. The entire world wants to become a socialist country, basically. It is just like aspirational. Aspirational means, the way you are aspirational that one day you want to be a rich person. One day you want to top your class. One day you want to be a CA. One day you want to be an investment banker. So that is your aspiration. So socialism and socialist countries are the aspirational things. Let's give you an example of this, guys. This is rich parenting. Parents were very rich, very rich. They have Mercedes, they have big bungalows, they have servants. So for the students, for the children, for such kind of, for such kind of parenting, they are not even strict. They are not even liberal as well. They are in between, but they are so rich that you have everything in your, everything present in front. You just think and you have it. That parenting, just imagine, being a child of Mr. Amitabh Bachchan, being a child of Mr. Ambani. You have everything, guys. Everything. Whatever you dream of. So these are the countries, guys. For example, if I enlarge it, these are socialist countries: Finland, Sweden, Norway. Why these are socialist countries, guys? These countries are very rich countries. Switzerland, everything is free in these countries. The health facility is free, education is free, traveling transport is free. Girls are having equal rights to men. They don't fight as well. You rarely have heard of Finland fighting with someone, Sweden or Norway or Switzerland. Switzerland have not fought in last I believe in last 200 years. They have not even fought with any country. They don't even have army and police. So and the citizenship rules are also very strict in these countries. But I want to say these are the richest countries of the world, and they have all the parameters. They top in all the parameters. They top in GDP parameters. They top in equality, gender equality parameters, HDI, human index parameters, human development index parameters. They have the best quality life, best environment, best air to breathe, guys. So and everything is free in these countries. Almost everything. Education is free. Government provides you job. Government gives you job. If you don't have job, government gives you some benefits in exchange of unemployment. So and when you get old, you get a nurse to take care of you. So just imagine such countries. Who wouldn't be who, every all these entire countries of this world someday want to be like this. But it is the highest aspirational thing, guys. So socialist countries are the rich parenting. Just imagine parents who are very rich, like Mr. Anant Ambani. He have taken birth in Ambani family, guys. They have everything. So you don't have to worry about the stuff about job, about education. Everything is sorted. So in these countries, all the things have, all the things are sorted basically. Now coming to mixed economy, it's very interesting topic, guys. Mixed economy. In India, we chose mixed economy where we have combination of communism, capitalism, and socialism as well. But I wanted to say before this, let's discuss one more thing, that is nationalist economy, so that you have better clarity of this. Because mixed economy will be combination of all these things. The nationalist economies are those economies, if I tell you guys, who have a lot of sense of self pride, who have a lot of sense of uh, they want to be self reliant, they don't want to be dependent on others. They believe that they are the best in the world, and because of that, if this belief become extreme, Just like in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Afghanistan, that is so religious country that international investment doesn't want to come in such countries. What I wanted to say, nationalism is good, but when this nationalism become at the sentiment of nationalism become at the peak, it becomes very devastating for a country because now international businesses they don't want to come there and invest their money. Who would like to invest their money in Jammu and Kashmir? Now the things are becoming better, but it's very difficult because people are fighting. And to establish, to invest a company, if I ask you, you are a shopkeeper, for example, will you open your shop in Sudan? Will you open your shop in Afghanistan? Will you open your shop in Jammu and Kashmir? You won't, because you say that life is more important than the shop, right? So whenever the religious sentiments and the nationalist sentiments increases, up and it crosses the extent of sanity, it becomes very difficult for a country to thrive and survive in terms of finance and industries, right? So nationalist countries are those countries who really love themselves. That we are the best. We don't want to, we don't want help of others. We will become self-reliant. So that is a good thing. But if it crosses a level, it crosses the emotion. For example, you become maniac because of that. That is not good. Now, in mixed economy, let's see what it means. India chose mixed economy when we got independent. It was our, you know, we decided willingly that we will be a mixed economy. So we have combination of communism, capitalism, socialism, and some nationalistic sentiment as well. What I wanted to say today, we have Reliance, Tata Geo. Reliance Jio is Vodafone, Airtel. We have uh, we have BSNL, which is owned by the government. We have Tatas, we have Birlas, we have Adanis, and so many companies registered on the stock exchange. What is that? That is capitalism. Where the markets are performing by themselves, right? Now, what is communism over here? Guys, you might have heard BSNL when government took over something. Now, Air India is taken by Tata's, but before it was, in Tata started Air India, but Indian government took over it. Now again, it was given back to Tata's. Now, but again, I would like to say that whenever governments nationalize something, so whenever government take over a company, government can take over any industry, guys. So that is, there is involvement of government as well. So PSUs, all the PSUs like ONGC, they are, HUL, all these companies are PSUs and they are taken over by Indian government. SBI, PNB, all these banks, when government is having more than 51% stake. Why government has taken so much stake in these companies? Because guys, government can take over any industry, any point of time. So this is a glimpse of communism. Means Indian government can also take over any business. So railways, the best example is now we are moving towards privatization as well, but railways, post offices, the best example. So both the things are working parallelly. Free companies, when the markets are free, like Adani, Birla, Tata's, Ambani's, all these companies are, executing by themselves. There are companies who have, whose government is having interference. So yes, definitely, we are having capitalism, communism as well. Then you ask, sir, where is socialism? Absolutely. You go to government hospital, you get free medicines. You go to a ration shop. You might have, you are modern people, but just see, there will be a ration shop near to your house where you get free food. And if you are below BPL, you'll get free food. And even if you're not under BPL line, you will get food at very nominal prices. 10 rupee kg, 20 rupee kg rice, 10, 20 rupee kg wheat. If you go to, using your government buses, majorly the buses are free, especially for the ladies, buses are free. So that is what socialism. When government is trying to provide free health, education is also free in government schools. So in government schools, government colleges, education is free. So that is what cost socialism. So what is happening over here in India? We chose combination of all these guys, best of all, and we have nationalist sentiment as well. We are a religious country. All the religions they are free to people work, but it never crosses a limit. Everything is at optimum level. We love our country, so that is why Indian Swadeshi movement we started. So we have a combination of all these things, guys. right? And no one sentiment crosses a limit. Why we are not socialist? 100% because we are not a rich country. I hope you got the point. To become socialist, to make everything free, you need to have good amount of money. You should be a very rich country. Why we are not capitalist? Because capitalism only focuses on what? On liberal. Everything should be liberal. So capitalists focus on profits. Capitalists focuses everything on earning more and more money. So if we had chosen capitalism, guys, so when we got independence, we were a very poor country. And if we had chosen capitalism at that point of time, the poor people would have, 70% of the Indian population was poor, under poverty line, uneducated, illiterate. So we had to take care of these people as well. So government took the initiative that we will provide them education, health, food. So that is why we took a part of communism as well. And and government took over banks, government took over PSUs, government took over all these and provided jobs, government jobs too. Your father must have done government job. Your parents, your near and dear ones. So government used to give jobs to people. Now government is stepping back from this. But the thing is that capitalism is good, but over capitalism would have, if we would have chosen this capitalism part, then many people would have died of hunger because rich would have become more richer and poor would become more poorer. Secondly, capitalism very ruthless. They don't believe in emotions. If poor is dying out of hunger, let him die. But in Indian government, we are people of sentiments, so we chose socialism along with capitalism. And why communism? Take care of our students, to take care of our children, like our citizens, to provide them good food. So that is why we chose every combination of all these things. Best of all. So one last question I would like to ask, and this topic is finished. We'll move to another next topic, guys. Which country is capitalist? Which country is communist? Which country is socialist? The answer would be, right answer to this would be, today all the countries, regardless of mixed economy, regardless it is communist, they are tilting towards capitalism. China is a communist country, but China is the best exporter of the world, the greatest exporter of all time. So they are moving towards, they have a tilt towards capitalism. Cuba again tilt toward capitalism. India is a mixed economy, but with a tilt towards capitalism. Entire world is tilting towards capitalism. Sorry, what I wanted to say today, no country is having one specific thing. These countries, as I told you, these countries were just a minute, guys. So the socialist countries, which I was telling you, Finland and all these countries, even these countries are not 100% socialist. They are socialist, but a tilt towards capitalism. India is a mixed economy, but a tilt towards capitalism. China is a communist country, but a tilt towards capitalism. So all the entire world is moving towards the capitalist markets only. I hope these two concepts are clear to you, and I hope I had tried to, tried my best to clarify these things in the most simplest way. Now, one very important term that comes over here is globalization, guys. Very important term and very interesting term as well. So I would like to give you a very small example over here. Please pardon my handwriting over here, but this is quite visible, I think. The entire world is doing yoga, guys, right? In America, people are doing yoga nowadays. Everyone is aware of yoga. People are doing classical dance. People are learning Sanskrit, Hindi language. You are watching Korean dramas, right? You are watching international dramas in Netflix. You are eating McDonald's over here, right? Now we are not speaking English, but I'm not speaking 100% English. One thing, my pronunciation is really out of hand because where I'm living right now, I don't use English in day-to-day basis. But it is not English, it is English. Hindi plus English combined. You are chatting with your friends with English, right? So you are eating McDonald's with aloo tikki. So the entire world, guys, is becoming a village. Entire world is just one village. Entire world is connected now via YouTube, via social media, and we are eating their food. We are eating Chinese momos today, Chinese thupka, Chinese chowmins. They are eating paranthas, idli, dosas. So we are getting best of the world, best of the world. They are doing meditations, yoga. We are doing, hip hop dance. We are doing rap. Just see, we are picking the best of all the countries now. We are following skin routines, Korean skin routines. So what is happening, guys? This is called as globalization. When the entire world is becoming one, when the best of all the world is coming at your feet today. That okay, this is the best medicine in the world, this is the best exercise in the world. Gym culture is coming to India. So, the world is using this word namaste. We are using hello. We are using good evening, good morning. So, what is happening, guys? World is, we are overcoming the borders. Now, today, sitting at a room, you can see what is happening in South Korea, what is happening in America. So, the world without, just imagine, guys, the world without borders. There are no taxes, free movements. You don't, just imagine yourself. You don't even need a passport. You don't even need a visa. Do you need visa to visit Nepal? Or do Nepalis need visa to visit India? No. You just take a bus, just go there, visit and come back. You don't need any passport. You don't need any visa. Why so? It's just like a state to us. If I'm visiting the Gujarat or Maharashtra, I don't need anything. Similarly, if I'm visiting Nepal, I don't need anything, guys. So why not the entire world becomes like this? Just imagine, this is the highest aspiration of globalization. No limits at all. So Nepalese people, they can sell their products here, and we can sell their products over there. The cross-border movement is free. They can join our army. Now they are not joining nowadays because of a new rule, that Agnivir, but otherwise they can join our army. They can work here. They can get jobs over here as well. They can study in our schools and colleges. So this is what is real globalization, when there are no borders at all. Anyone can travel anywhere, right? This term is called as laissez-faire. Laissez-faire means free market, when there is minimal involvement of government, guys. This is very important term. I hope, please note it down, guys. Laissez-faire means it is liberal parenting. When parents, they really don't care about their children, they have given them complete liberty to do what you want to do. Just manage yourself by your own, just like capitalism societies. So laissez-faire, when the markets takes place of themselves, when industries, they take care of themselves, they don't need any regulations from government. This is laissez-faire. I hope this is clear to everybody. So, what is globalization? Integration of economies and cultures and societies worldwide, when everything is becoming one. Molten pot means, you just put in soup, everything in one soup, and you then after that you can't distinguish what is the flavor of radish, what is the flavor of capsicum, what is the, so all the flavors are intermingled. Such kind of society is globalized society. We today are living in one single world, right? So technology is making it easy. Means today, using YouTube, you can see the entire world. Using Alibaba.com, you can buy the products from the world. Using the courier services, you can courier anything in any country. You can buy from any country, right? So today you can buy, you can do trade anywhere. Today this class is visible to the people throughout the world. Anyone can learn from this class. Just imagine. So this is real globalization, guys, right? So what are the benefits of globalization? Just imagine, guys, one single world. We are having just one single world, and the entire world is connected to one another. So just a minute. So this is the map, guys. Now just imagine, you are free to travel anywhere. You can do trade throughout the world. So it really helps to boost the GDP, to boost employment. You can do consultation sitting over here in the foreign country. There are many websites like Upwork, Fiverr, where you can put your ad. People sitting throughout the world can see that ad, and they can give you, they can hire you for a task, and they'll pay you money in dollars. Just imagine sitting at your home, you can trade, you can do trades from the people sitting throughout the world basically. So you are getting best products, you are getting better collaborations and better innovations as well. I hope that is clear to you. Now, because of this globalization, guys, it affected all the people throughout the world, old age, youth, children. Why? Today, girls are able to work in corporate, wearing good, Western clothes. What is that? Globalization. They're free. And why that thing came to here? Because foreign in Western countries, the girls were more independent. They had more equality. So same case came to India. Now Indian girls are becoming more educated. They are also working. They are feeling themselves part of the society. They are also equal in corporate. So this is what this globalization is affecting good things which were followed in these countries. They are coming to here itself. World is adopting best of the world, best of all other countries. We are consuming best coffee produced in Africa. We are producing best chocolates produced in Africa. From where it is coming? Globalization, guys. So our marriage system have changed. People are getting, there is no, hard and fast regulations in caste, religion. People are getting doing love marriages. Earlier it was arranged marriages. Family structures from joint families now families are becoming nuclear families. Homogenization means everything is becoming just like one. I am talking to you English. I can talk any Westerner, any American with in the same language. He will also understand me. I will understand him, because entire world is just becoming like one. We all are just same. We can communicate with each other, right? The thing is that what is happening because of this? We are adopting good things. Poverty is getting down, and because of that, people are learning from each other. The best things are coming on the way. I hope this is clear to everybody. Now, so these were the benefits of globalization, guys. So what are the drawbacks? The only drawback in globalization is that if you are not competent enough, you won't survive. This is the only drawback what I wanted to say. Means if you are not competent, means if you're karyana dukan wala, if you're the shop near to you, if if a shopkeeper or a small manufacturer or something like that, if he's not competent, he will not survive because the competition is too high. You are getting the best at the lowest price. Now, one more thing I wanted to tell you over here, guys. This is again very important. These big countries, they don't produce themselves. They don't manufacture stuff. Manufacturing takes place in the southern part of the world only. Just remember this thing, because manufacturing, producing something like a mobile phone, right? For example, let's take example of this mobile phone. This mobile phone, whenever it is manufactured, it will pollute the environment. It will some waste will be excreted, and that waste need to be dumped. So these countries, they don't do the manufacturing anymore. They order these small countries for manufacturing, like Bangladesh, India, Vietnam. We do the manufacturing, and because of this manufacturing, we get people get jobs, we earn money, but it spoils our environment, especially Indian or this continent or African. They dump their waste in these countries, these north countries. This is called as, first world countries. These are the first world countries, northern part. These are rich countries, guys. And we are small countries. We are called as third world countries. These are the developed nations. We are developing nations. I hope this is clear to you. This should not be said over here, but it's just a quotation, just a quotation. You must have heard it somewhere. White man's burden. That these northern part of the country's people are white, and they are taking burden of the entire world. Means they are, they are on their back. They are lifting us, and they are the one who is driving the entire world. So this is just a saying. You don't have to believe this, but just a saying, basically. So drawbacks are that because of the globalization, pollution is taking place. Because that manufacturing taking place, the air is getting polluted, and because of that, the entire world's air will get polluted. Because air is not a constant thing; it is dynamic; it keeps moving. So today, the breeze, the wind in India will go to Africa or Russia or China or somewhere like that. So it is bringing development, but development is bringing pollution along with that. It is eroding the cultural things, because earlier we used to live with our parents, now we are not. Earlier there used to be a concept of local arranged marriages. Now people are living in having living in relation and all these things. So it is eroding these things. And one more thing that is happening over here, the local companies, local industries, it's very difficult to sustain. It's very difficult to run a local domestic industry, because we are competing worldwide now. We are open. Just imagine you are a small child, 3 or 4 years old, and your mother and your parent, they just let you go in market alone. You are just open now. You are so vulnerable. If you will survive, you are the best survivor. But if you don't, so it's the world is ruthless, guys. So it is an open market now. I hope this is clear. But one thing I would like to tell you, there is a new concept that came after, only after COVID crisis, only after Corona. What exactly happened? As I told you, the entire world, all the countries are dependent on one another and all that. But all the world was dependent on China for all their imports, all their products, they were being imported by China. But during COVID crisis, China was badly and severely hit. Because of that, the entire logistic chain of China got hampered. And this led to inflation in the world, global inflation, because the supply chain was disrupted and people were not getting good food, good imports. Means China was not exporting such stuff. So Canada, America, Russia, they were hampered a lot. Now, what countries decided over dependence on one country is not good. It is not good. So what they decided that they should try to become, try to reverse this globalization concept. They should become regional. They should become self-dependent, self-reliant, and they should move they should not be over dependent on one single country. So this is deglobalization, opposite of globalization. So that is why instead entire world is dependent on just one single country, we should have two or three different options. So that is why India, Bangladesh, Vietnam, we also became options for these Western countries apart from China now. But anyhow, China is more skillful. They are more competent in production part. We are not yet. But the thing is that yes, we are on the list now. At least we are moving in that direction. So these are the factors that are affecting international trade. That is foreign exchange rates. This is something we are going to discuss in the next video, how the exchange rates are decided. But if the dollar becomes, the price of dollar increases, dollar becomes strong. If rupee becomes strong, if Japanese yen becomes strong, what will be the impact on import, export? So that we are going to discuss. But yes, that definitely affects your trade. Basically, crude oil affects your trade. Basically, so climate is also affecting the trade, basically. So these are a few factors. One more factor that affects the trade, that is fight between two countries or taxation. Means what if America, means Donald Trump is had won the election, right? So he said that he's going to impose a lot of taxes on China. Now what would happen? China will not sell their products to America, so the inflation can go up in America. So what is happening? The over taxation on one country of from one country to another country, that can affect the trade, international trade, basically globalization. Factors boosting international trade. The best example is India and Nepal, guys. Just imagine entire world like this. You can go anytime to Pakistan, anytime to China, and come back. That would be the best thing. People from China can come here, we can come go there to sell our products. So that is the best example of globalization because we have bilateral agreements, we have free trade agreements, FTA. Because of that, we can do cross-border movements without paying any taxes. I hope this is clear. And definitely technology is one of the way. Sitting in India, you can do the consultation. In America. You can do consultation using this online platform only. So yes, absolutely. International trade can be boosted by bilateral agreements, by digital technology, and absolutely by logistic uh, courier services that would also help. Now, guys, one more thing over here. You might have seen in your school days, in your college days, uh, people make small groups. One group is sitting here, one group is sitting here. We are best friends like that and become chaddi buddy friends in your school days as well, college days as well. Why that is done? To help each other generally in notes, exams as well, traveling as well, to help each other. So people come along, they make groups and they stay together like that. So internationally as well, there's so many countries. So what exactly, instead of staying alone, aloof, why not to make friendship? Why not to make ties? Why not to come along with each other for better trade, better finance? So this is what happened in the world, and there are many organizations that were made. These are just examples. European Union, ASEAN, SAARC, African Union, OPEC, BRICS, G5, G7, G20. We are going to discuss all this. Now I'm going to make it very simple, guys. We are going to see in the map only. So just keep one thing in your mind, India and Nepal. We can anytime go anywhere, right? No need of passport, no need of visa. The same concept is over here. This is Europe. Spain, Germany, France, all these countries are European countries. The similar way we are having in India and Nepal, the same thing is applicable in these countries, in all European countries. So you can travel anywhere. You don't need any visa, any passport. You can work in finance and go stay in a nearby country. You can travel anytime. Trains go, buses go from one place to another, similarly like Nepal. One more thing which they did, they have one single currency as well. Though they have individual currencies as well. Like for France there is franc, for Spain there is something else, for United Kingdom, England it is pound. But generally they have euro as well as a country, a common currency. This currency works throughout the Europe. There is no need to have a German currency or French currency if you have euro. Just imagine India and Nepal using just one currency, rupee. Though they have their own currency, we have our own currency, but just imagine. So they have their own currency. So why this union was made? The main reason of this thing was again trade, because they used to fight a lot amongst themselves. First World War, Second World War, they fight a lot, and they made entire world to get into the fights. But they realized there's nothing like fighting will not solve anything. So they came together. They shake their hands, and they have European Union. They that European Union have their own currency. They have their own parliament. They have their own constitution, guys. So they came together for the betterment, for the growth, and they decided that we will not fight, at least among ourselves. We can fight with another countries, but we will not fight amongst ourselves. This is what we need to understand. India, Pakistan, China, we are biggest economies of the world. We need to understand fighting will not resolve anything, right? But in this European Union, one recent example, what recent exit took place, that United Kingdom, it got separated. Earlier, United Kingdom, England was also part of this, but it got separated from European Union. Why? The multiple, reasons. But United Kingdom thought that they are better than European Union, and European Union is having having more financial benefits in terms of trade from United Kingdom. So they thought means more share of United Kingdom's money was distributed amongst these people. So they decided to separate themselves. Just imagine, India is a big country. India is a powerful country as compared to Nepal. And if Nepal starts earning more money, so India would think that we were more powerful, we were more strong. Why Nepal is earning more? So we separate from Nepal. So just this was just an analogy which I was giving. This was same thinking United Kingdom was having, that they are better and their share of profits were shared amongst these countries. So let's get separated. So this is United, this is European Union. Similarly, guys, the entire Africa, this is Africa. This continent, all the countries of this continent also came together. This is called as African Union. So all the countries are together. But this African Union is not that successful because there is a lot of fighting which is taking place among these countries. It's not still successful. I hope this is clear to everybody. Now, similarly, I told you, entire world is divided in north and south. This is north, this is south. This is south, right? And this side is east. So, SARC, this is SARC. Let me show you over here itself in diagrams that would be better. SARC. Now, SARC countries are South Asian. SARC on map. All the countries which are present in the south, they had made a union amongst themselves. So this is the SARC nations. If you can see, Bangladesh, India, Bhutan, Nepal. So these are the SARC nations. I hope this is clear to everyone. South Asian. So this is association. This is North, South. So South Asian. This is Asia. I hope this is clear. So let me tell you about the continents: North America, South America. This is Africa. This is Europe, and this is Asia, and this is Australia. So south, the southern part of the nations, they came together. Let's come together like India, Afghanistan, Pakistan, Nepal. These countries, they came together, they made SAARC for the better transaction. Again, this was not successful. This is not still it exists, but it is not successful because there is a there is a you can say there are grudges between India, Pakistan, Afghanistan also not doing good. China is having their own influence over here, so it's a bit difficult, guys. Now, one more organization that is ASEAN. ASEAN is these are the countries I told you, Vietnam, Thailand. These countries are these are the small islands, good for international trade at this bottom. So they also made this is association of Southeast Asian countries. South, this is South, and Eastern side, Southeast. They made their association. Let me show you in the map itself. So these all countries in the south side. Yeah, you will see better over here. Just see, guys. So all these countries in South, Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand, Myanmar, Singapore, all these countries are water-oriented countries. See, there's so much sea, ocean over here. International, this is very good for trade. This is a successful, this is a successful group basically. They don't fight. Have you ever heard Thailand fighting with Malaysia? No. These countries are good in international trade basically. These countries are called as ASEAN. Now coming to G5. G5, G, just a minute. G5 on map. So all the countries which were having highest amount of population and good markets. So as I told you guys, China, one of the most populous country. India, one of not highest populous country, India. Second highest, China. Brazil, very populous country. South Africa. And so these all countries, and this is Mexico, they came together and they make G5. So these are the biggest markets of the world. Biggest markets means so many people are living over here. You can say, uh, just a statement. It may not be correct. BRICS, this G5 countries could be around, could cover around, you can say 50% of the world population, but I'm not sure. Please check it. So just imagine. So all the industries, all the companies, all the countries are willing to sell their products over here. So they are having good power in world dynamics in international trade. G5, just remember, guys, G5 are the countries who are the most populous countries, biggest markets. So in G5, it is these countries: Brazil, South America, India, China, and Mexico. I hope this is clear to everyone. Then comes G7. Now, G7s are the powerful countries. If I say very simple, powerful and rich countries. So, G7 is Canada. This is Canada. I will open over here if it is visible. So, if I tell you over here, guys, it is Europe and Canada, as simple as that. As I told you, this part, Canada and Europe, and this part. So, these are the NATO countries. These are very rich countries. G7 countries are one of the richest countries of the world. See, Canada, United Kingdom, Germany, Italy, and these are only countries. And Japan is having Japan is the protectorate of United States. Means United States is the big brother of Japan. Whatever happens in Japan, United States will take care of that. I hope this is clear to everyone. Now, next is G20, guys. All the countries of the world are member of G20. Not all, but the major countries of the world are member of G20. See, it is more, the entire world is around, it is a member of G20. So you don't have to remember G20 countries. You don't, because almost every day and you can risk becoming member of G20. The most important are G5, G7, SARC, ASEAN. So these are the most important countries which you have to remember. Now, one more thing which you have to remember and which is more important in our context, in Indian context, the BRICS. It is just full form of the words, guys. Again, this is one of the most, we can say, populated countries of the world. BRICS means B is for Brazil. Again, population is very high. R is for Russia, one of the biggest country of the world. Just see the size of Russia, right? R is for Russia, I is for India, C is for China, and S is for South Africa. So this is again a very powerful group, very, very powerful group. They have international presence, and whatsoever happens, People do listen to them. Means we have an impact. So why India? Now, one last question, being Indian, why India is so important for the world? Number one, India is so important for the world because we are the highest populated country. What is the benefit of highest populated country? Because we are the highest market, biggest market of the world. So I always tell we are more than 150 crore people. If you manage to take 1 rupee from all the people, all the citizens of India, you will be sitting at 150 crore rupee. Why to work? So the same concept companies know. So they want to penetrate deep in India, even into the villages, so they can earn more money from all 150, more than 150 crore people who are living over here. Why India is so important? Because we are very good in learning things. We are very brainy people. So we work in all the countries and we send remittances in India back to India. So it is good for all the entire world that we are hardworking people and we help their countries to grow as well. Again, a very important thing. Third thing, our geological position. Just imagine we are just sitting next to China. So USA needs us to control China's growth. So again, that is very important. And India, guys, we have a connection with sea, we have a connection with air, we have desert itself, we have mountains, we have sea, we have deserts as well. So geographically also we are very diverse country. We have monsoons, we have summers, we have winters as well. So we see all the four weathers in India. In other countries, it's not like that, right? And we have in winters and in summers there are different winter night and day timings. Just imagine, guys, in the northern part, it's very strange. I don't know whether you are aware of this. That 6 months, sometimes they are nights, 6 months they are day. Sometimes the sunlight is too low in these countries that people become deficient in vitamin D, and so they become there is a lot of depression in their minds because the sunlight is not there. That is also few things which we need to know. We should be knowing these things as well. The few organizations which the entire world came together to check the world trade because world trade is taking place every day and the maximum world trade takes place using the sea route, right? So there must be some international organization which keeps an eye on this thing. So these international organizations are World Trade Organization. This checks the rules of world trade. If some country does something wrong, they can against some another country, they can go to World Trade. They make rule for international trade routes. Next is IMF, guys, International Monetary Fund. What they generally do, they keep an eye that whether something wrong is happening within a country or not, or something wrong is happening in a world or not, monetary wise. They help creating the monetary policy of the country. So we had discussed this thing in the monetary policy class as well. But IMF plays a very important role in critical times, in bad times, basically, when the country is falling or when the economy of the world is collapsing. So IMF takes place. IMF is the last resort, last doctor, who handles the emergencies basically. The World Trade Organization is the one who prescribes something, before a person falls ill. But once a person falls ill, he has to go to an emergency doctor. That emergency doctor is IMF. And then there is one more organization, World Bank. World Bank provides loans to all these countries basically for international trade, for the growth. So that part is also sorted by the World Bank. I hope this is clear to everybody. So this is a very interesting topic and this topic is loved by many students. So I hope I made best use of your time, guys. So conclusion of this is that international trade is very important. There is no way out. Any country can stay away from, stay aloof or stay, uh, they don't can stay, away from another country without having uh, so let me repeat myself again. All the countries, they are dependent on each other. We can't stay alone. 100% self-reliance is just a utopian thing, right? And the world trade, the countries who are more in world trade, who are just near to sea, so they are doing well in the GDP. It's very good for per capita income and the growth of the country as well. So world trade is very important for economic growth of